little bit before they get going. All right, so Kate, we are live.
Right.
Let me make sure everything else is.
Testing
Yeah, I
1, 2,
kind
1,
of
2.
Yeah, that's right. I multitask a good bit while we're doing this stuff here. So give me a sec. And people are, usually seeing like the top of my forehead because I'm looking down at my phone and stuff. But let's see how this goes.
I wish I could
Yeah.
juggle or something to entertain while you're working on that.
You having a good day so far?
It's been a great day. It's a beautiful day here in California. Obviously can't do too much with that, but I can still appreciate the sunshine. Maybe go for a walk later.
Don't rub it in. You guys always have beautiful days. What part of California are you?
I'm in Orange County, so I'm especially spoiled and lucky.
Of course
with the
you are.
weather. Yeah.
Of course you are. Are you near the beach?
I am walking distance from the beach.
Oh boy.
It's nice.
I got it. I've been there once before. It was a golf trip near the Montage, if you heard it. I forget the name of the course.
I should know it because my husband works in the golf industry, but I know nothing about golf. But
yeah,
the Montage down in Laguna Beach.
in Laguna Beach. I think it's called Laguna Niguel or something like that.
Yeah.
Got
oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a golf guy.
I unfortunately I am. Yeah, it's pain.
Not good right now.
Yeah, it's like a love-hate relationship most of the time. Yeah.
Very nice.
We'll let everyone get into the live stream here, and so we'll get started in about a minute or so, 30 seconds. But yeah, everything's going. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was just wanted to ask how your day has been.
Oh, so far so good. Just started out just working this morning. I got a really good night's sleep.
Nice.
So I woke up extra early and had a ton of energy, and just kind of went down my success list, I call it, instead of a to-do list, and just took care of a bunch of tasks, and had a good meeting with my team today, client care team, and just been prepared and excited and anxious to speak to you today. Everyone always asks me, Kate, like about our marketing and like, who's doing your social media and it looks great and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know what? Jamar Seltzer, shout out to Jamar. He's our, marketing intern with Fortis Mortgage. And Hassan Riggs, he is the CEO of Smart Alto. I was speaking with him, I don't know, almost a year ago. And I'm like, hey, who's your graphic designer? Like, who's your graphic? Can you introduce me to them? And maybe they want to do some freelance work. And he's like, dude, Smart Out. He said Design Pickle. And I'm like, that's a weird name. Like, what is Design Pickle? And he sent me a link to your website, and I looked, and I'm like, this is a no-brainer. Like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how I got connected with you all. So, but you didn't ask me that. I'm having a great day so far.
It sounds like it. Sounds like an amazing day.
Great day.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, we'll just get started. And as people come in, I just want them to ask questions. So everyone that's on here, and folks that are coming in, please post your comments or questions in the comment section, and we'll try to answer them. But this morning I have Kate Rooney. Kate is the brand director for a company called Design Pickle. And so, Kate, if you could just tell us, a little bit about Design Pickle, who you are, and what you do for the company.
Sure. Thanks, Shawn. So as you mentioned, we are Design Pickle. We don't sell pickles, unfortunately. We are a graphic design company, and more specifically, a flat rate graphic design subscription service. So when Shawn's saying that he gets all of his designs to Design Pickle, he's matched with you have two of our designers. You grew your account, which is awesome.
Yeah, now I have two. We started with one, and we did one for a while, and so yeah, I doubled down because we were doing so many projects every day. It's just like, cool. Let's go for it.
Yeah, so you pay a flat monthly rate starting at $3.99 a month, and you get that one designer you're working with, so they get to know you and your brand, what you like, what you don't like, and you could submit as many design requests as needed every month. including, unlimited revisions. You get all the source files. So you mentioned your amazing intern. We work really well with companies who don't have a designer at all, or who, if you do have a designer or someone who needs those Adobe files. So yeah, and as the brand director, I work in the marketing department. I actually headed up marketing before, and now I'm focused on brand and creative. That's more of my background. But I make sure that we grow our brand awareness, and everything from our internal communications to external marketing, and everything is on brand. And yeah, that's like the high level version of what I do.
Awesome. You do a very good job at it. I reached out to you, Kate, because I read an article. It was 2 reasons, things to consider to scale your business. I think that was the title of the article. And so I reached out, and I'm just like, I'm such a big fan of Design Pickle. I really think that this article is very relevant to my network. And, you and I, we connected and we started to speak more about that. And so we pivoted from going that direction. And so we're speaking about now the new marketing playbook. And right now there's content galore and there's information out there because we're all in front of technology, in front of the computer all day. And so you shared with me the other day, some of the conversations that you're having with your team and with different businesses. And so I think it's great for us to talk about that. And so can you tell me what the new marketing playbook, like what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's the world has changed. I can't even just say the world did change. It's still changing, still evolving. We're still pivoting. That first week was that early March when everything kind of hit the fan. It was just, I'm sure so many people out there felt this, but it was such a scramble to be like, oh my gosh, we have to change everything. Like, our numbers are going down. What do we do? And it took us a while to kind of take a step back and think about it rationally and go through these steps to determine what we need to do and how to shift things around. So that's kind of like, that's the new marketing playbook. It's determining who you're going after, how to shift your tone a bit, and then just some trends in general as everyone shifts to remote and a lot more digital content than ever before.
You want to touch on that first one? I think that's important, and what I'm seeing a lot of myself and my peers are doing, revisiting their target audience.
So I know you have, I guess we can share this quick slide here. So going back to when everything hit, and we looked at, the most vulnerable industries in the United States affected by the pandemic, and no surprise to anyone, it was food and beverage, retail, support services, and almost everything down to the bottom of this list. This is like our core audience. These are a lot of our clients. And we've been doing everything we can to support them and to, help their accounts as much as we can. But the reality is we can't just keep grinding and going after food and beverage services right now when they're less likely to be searching for graphic design services. They're just trying to stay afloat. And it's not like we're just going to like ditch them and move on to another market. Is just being strategic in what we're doing right now to make sure that we are able to continue scaling up. So it's just one thing to look at this and realize if I'm going after a lot of these folks, then perhaps it is time to shift. And I'll jump into the next slide because I know we wanted to chat about this. But if you find that a lot of your target audience is in that group, or maybe in a different group that is still highly affected, here are some questions that you could ask yourself or your teams to kind of figure out if you do need to make some adjustments to who you're targeting. So for example, to kick it off, how is your core target markets or users impacted? Like I said before, if you're going after restaurants or retail or real estate or something like that, how much have they been affected? Is that that user going to, is their business going to change? Are their buying habits going to change? And speaking of their buying habits, if you're going for people, or you have a brick and mortar shop, how can you shift, or are your consumers now buying online versus in person, and providing more value to those customers at this time? I mentioned before, we've created a lot of new guides and resources for people who are in need. This is a great opportunity for any brand to go above and beyond, give back if you're available, or if you are able to at this time. And this last one is less about your target audience, but just in general, making sure that your employees and your staff are safe and your consumers are safe.
And are we saying that these questions are what we should ask ourselves, or actually reach out to our target market to ask these questions?
These are questions to ask yourself,
Okay.
To determine the need to shift some things around, or everything around. Instead of trying to keep moving forward or go, it'll just be an uphill battle if you're trying to do the same thing and you're getting the same results, because the people you're going after aren't going to be buying at this time.
Right. Understood. And then, so like, have you, do you have any success stories on this? Like you could share, like recent with this?
So we're still working out the kinks, but what we've determined is, for us personally, this may not resonate with everyone, but with the shifts, we've realized that we're able to go after bigger companies than we had before. I mean, we work with a lot of like small businesses or mid-market industries, and because people are having to cut costs where they can, we're able to go after the larger businesses or enterprise businesses at that point. So yeah, so that first week when things were slow, it was terrifying. We were really scared, we had high churn numbers because people are trying to figure out what they're doing. And our sales were down because, again, we're going after that target. But then in the last week, we've seen the numbers pick up and grow after shifting our targets and whatnot.
Understood. And then how are you, another piece of the conversation. So there were three things. And the first was revisiting your target audience. And that's good. Like these questions to ask ourselves to deliver our message. The second one was, what was it? How to communicate during a crisis. You tell us a bit about that, like what you all meant when you were putting that together.
Sure. So there are a couple of routes to this. One thing I wanted to bring up is auditing your content. If you already have ads published, this is something that we had to do because we had really high performing ad content that probably came across as quite insensitive or just tone deaf given what's going on right now. So first step was auditing any ads you might have running or any campaigns you have going on right now. Just because a campaign has some elements that may not be deemed appropriate doesn't mean that they need to get scrapped altogether. You can just pause it and turn it back on once things subside. But this was just an example. This was an ad we had that two of my amazing team members, they were doing a recreation of the scene from the movie Ghost with the pottery. So they're very close proximity with each other, and we had to pause that one. We had another one with our CEO, Russ Perry, who was on a scooter in Italy, and we're like, nope, that's not going to work right now. So yeah, we just had to make some pivots, changing some of your, you can determine which ones you can easily pivot. Maybe you don't have to change the image, but you can just change the copy or something like that. But take a moment to evaluate whatever language you're using or images you're using. Avoid big crowds, avoid people touching and stuff like that. I mean, unless it's maybe a family in their home. But and then as far as language, reframing some of it. So instead of like get in touch or let's work hand in hand, it's let's get in contact, or maybe not that, but reach out or something that maybe doesn't have touch or feel involved as much in there.
Understood. Yeah, that's very important. Actually, I've thought about that just because I know we try to be sensitive to the times, but it just does make a lot of sense on how you message and what to actually talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, Jamar, I know you're listening to this. Let's go back and audit some of our stuff as well. So how are, like, for instance, how does Design Pickle play into that? So with us, for instance, we would have like maybe a design that you all have done for us in the past. We would send it back to you and say, hey, this is the feel that we want, and these, this is the messaging that we would like to do, and you guys would just revise that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have that old file, or you could even go back through your request, because if you request it through Design Pickle, it's still there. You can actually like duplicate that request or go back and edit it, so it'll be a lot faster. But yeah, you can ask them to change the copy, and then with the embedded stock photo tool in our app, you could either search for new photos yourself there, or you could tell Maiko or your designer, whoever he or she may be, to pull photos that don't have people in close proximity or something. You can just tell your designer that, and they'll find photos for you if you prefer that method.
Yeah, and that's the amazing thing, because myself, I find being a pretty big picture. And so I'll go in there and say, hey, I think this is the vibe that I'm looking for. And can you give me 3 different options with, one
Yes.
with people, one without, like one with these colors in it. And, so they do a good job at being really consistent with our brand and the branding that we've set out. But also, I don't always, Jamar does a good job with this, but I don't always know what pictures to use and what colors and to use. And so we often get a bunch of different options or design options. And so, yeah, we do that. And so I'll look, and we have our delivered queue, and then we just go back into our delivered queue, and we get revisions. Or if we have something that's already in your queue, we can go in and update that. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That does. Before I go on to the next one, someone asked, we're going to deviate for a quick second. Someone asked, how did Design Pickle start?
Aha. I can answer that one. That's an easy one. So Russ Perry, our founder and CEO, he started Design Pickle back in 2015. Prior to that, he owned an agency, just like a traditional creative agency. And he kept running into the same issue, which was trying to get graphic design consistently and design that's affordable. That was like the main thing, like consistency and affordability. So he ended up hiring this kind of like a freelance designer to help out, and she became like full-time staff and was creating all this content, and he would just present it to his clients. And then he actually shut down his agency and decided to grow Design Pickle from there, because he saw results from it. People were complimenting the work and how fast it was and everything. So yeah, that was back in 2015, and here we are 5 years later.
Wow.
We've grown tremendously since back in the day. But it was just him running around in a pickle suit. Now I run around in a pickle suit.
Oh, you run around in the pickle suit now?
Oh yes, I have plenty of footage of that.
That's funny. So real quick, I was telling you this story the other day. I've been mentioning Jamar Seltzer. He graduated from the University of Maryland last year, and he's been with us for over a year now. Well, about a year. And when he came on board, he's very skilled. He's a very smart young man. One of the things that we were doing is looking to get like graphic design done. And so that's not his highest skill set. Like, he knows how to do it and he can learn how to do it, but the production that we needed and to put it out wasn't happening so fast. But he was doing a terrific job, Jamar. I know you're listening. You were doing a great job. But I was looking at, in regards to scale, how much time it was taking him to complete a project versus how much time it would cost to get like someone like Design Pickle to do that for us. And so the highest and best use of his time and our time was to allow him to be very creative, right, with the concepts and the ideas and to pass along our messaging, right, but put that into your model, right, and we could get a lot more done. So for the amount of money that I spent and time that we would spend on Jamar doing those tasks, we could 10x it by using a service like Design Pickle. And I won't even say a service like, I'll just say Design Pickle, because right now, so before we were doing 1 to 2 projects a day. So regardless if we were going to use them or not, we started to build a content library. Okay. And we had like different themes for holidays and spring and summer, fall. We had content ideas for different parts of our industry. We had content ideas for just about everything. And so we would just, no matter if we were using it immediately or not, we would just put it in there and say, hey, do it. And we would get a bunch of different options, logos designed, a bunch of different stuff. And then so now, remember I said I doubled down and we hired another one. And so now we're getting anywhere between 3 to 4 per day. So if you take that and you stretch it out over a long period of time, like we have a ton of content that we can use for our marketing. And so I tell you this story to go back to the point in which you were speaking about how you guys started the company and you found that, with the flat rate service and offering, this in-house service, how companies can scale. And so it's really helped us a lot to be able to scale our marketing and to allow, someone like Jamar on our team to focus on what his highest and best strengths are, the usage of his strengths. And so that's been like amazing. It's been great for us. Yeah. And so
that makes my heart happy, Shawn. It really does, because that's where we see that's the pickle we see a lot of our clients in is what you need to get done, and you probably can figure it out by yourself, whether that's the programs or you do it in Canva or something like that. But that just takes up a lot of time. So just removing that bottleneck at an affordable price, and you have the plan, you can just drop it in there. It's almost like Jamar's kind of like an art director in a way, or like a marketing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, he's a project manager and he loves it. Like so just every day we're thinking of ideas and just information, and I'm just like, just pop it in Design Pickle and see what it looks like when it comes out. So that's why I really felt it was super important for me to share this. I don't want to keep it a secret. At first I'm like, but it is what it is, and I feel like I should share what's been helping us because everyone's asking, because they see that we have a consistent brand, and it's all the time is stuff coming through, and so I wanted to share. It's not a secret anymore. I just wanted to share how we're able to do it at such massive scale. And so the last question or the last point that we spoke about was the third one, and that was some tips and trends. Like we have a few that we've been using that you guys have designed for us. Just like we really started out doing tips every day about like washing your hands and social distancing. Then we started to talk about like the SBA, the loans that business owners could get. And then in our industry, there was information about, there was our interest rates started to change and there was a liquidity crunch. And we started to talk about why that was happening, why rates weren't going down so rapidly like everyone thought they would. And so what are you seeing like in regards to tips and trends out there? And then what are you telling your clients to be looking for as well?
Well, that's definitely one of them. I'll touch on that, but just being helpful in general, the fact that you're providing those tips. And before we hopped onto this call, you were talking about, why you're doing this live stream, and it's not to just make sales. It's genuinely to help other people and, solidify your network. And I just think that's so cool and admirable. And that's what everyone needs right now. Like, we know that the economy is not the greatest and may not be for a while, but what else can you do besides helping others and lifting other people up? So with that in mind, this is one of them, one trend that we've seen and have started using, and we've seen a great response, a lot of engagement online, but keeping it real. We're all in the same situation, you know. I mean, some are affected more than others, but we're all stuck at home, and you might be with the kids all day, and things are crazy. But I don't know if you guys have watched any of the late night shows at all recently, but they've been doing it from home. And I was sitting there with my husband the other day, and we're like, we enjoy this way more than the polished studio set and the canned laughter and everything. Like, this is just so real and authentic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so cool. And then we just did some funny things. That's actually a picture of me and my dog. There was like a trend on Twitter that was recreate famous artworks. So it was like, all right, I'm gonna be silly and dress up, and um, but basically just presenting yourself with being transparent about your situation, and showing that we're all in this together. And if it applies to your brand, then incorporate some humor, uh, as long as it's tasteful. But some good old tasteful humor and entertainment is always a great way to stay at top of mind right now.
I didn't realize that was you and your dog.
Yeah, that's me and Mr. Huckleberry. So this goes back to what we were talking about before, but creating helpful content. So even if your goal isn't to get more sales right now, then at least you're helping people. And on top of that, you could be building your lead list. So when things subside, you're still top of mind because you've engaged with these people and you have their contact information if you choose to keep anything gated. But some free online courses. Shawn's been doing the roundup of tips and tools, some entertainment, and one thing that's going back to like boosting your business up is highlighting certain product features or benefits that maybe you hadn't before, and that's something we've definitely done, because before it was just like flat rate graphic design. Like, we have a bunch of other like product features, but that's the main thing. But now we're able to talk about how it's great for remote teams because all your files are stored um, within our platform, and you can add multiple users and brand profiles and stuff like that. So just it's just helpful, especially for our current clients too, if they don't know. Like, by the way, did you know that you can add multiple users and make your workflow a little bit easier? So yeah, helpful content, regardless of whatever your industry in. It could be industry specific. It could be just related to surviving right now, stuff at home. But helpful is key. It's one of our core values. We take it very seriously, but um, it's proven to be so valuable across like our marketing and internally.
What do you mean by entertainment? What would be some ideas around that?
So one thing, actually, that picture that's on there is a downloadable we've been offering for free, and it's a coloring book, and then also some like little activities, and it's just for kids, for
Oh,
parents to download and keep their kids entertained. So stuff like that. Even this kind of like live stream, I would consider it entertainment to an extent. I mean, we're talking about tips and valuable information, but I think video is a great source of entertainment for a lot of folks.
got it.
Uh-huh.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think you had a trend number 3.
So just digital engagement. How are you having a dialogue with everyone back and forth? It's instead of just having it like a one-way street. We've seen a big uptick in virtual events, digital summits, a lot more webinars, and also increased social engagement. So we've always stayed on top of folks who are commenting or messaging us on social, but now it's a really, really great opportunity to get on this if you're not already, and make sure that those lines of communication are open both ways. And then, of course, just more partnership opportunities. We found ourselves partnering up with more companies in the past month more than ever, because we're all helping each other out, and it's a great opportunity if you do want to do like a co-branded webinar or a virtual event. You can look for people who have some similar target audiences or verticals, but aren't competitors, whoa, was not word. If they are in competition, then yeah, partner with them and see if maybe you could put together like a bundled package or something like this, just good old fashioned live stream. There you go. Those are my 3 tips.
That's awesome. So revisiting your target audience, how to communicate during a crisis, and tips and trends. So that's what we're talking about today on this new marketing playbook. Yeah, it was awesome. Good information. Is there anything else that you want to add? We try to keep these to about 30 minutes, and I know you're busy as well, and you have to move on to the next thing. But is there something we missed, Kate, or any information that you'd like to share additionally with us?
I mean, that went pretty quickly, but I think ultimately it's expressing yourself with empathy, transparency, and knowing that we're in this together and we will get out of it. I know it's hard to be positive or stay positive. I think a lot of people are feeling like that right now, and I completely understand. It's tough, but we'll get through it. That's all. And I wanted to add too, like if anyone has any more questions, feel free to reach out.
Okay.
Or if you'd like to know more about Design Pickle.
Yeah. So speaking of which, can you tell us how to contact Design Pickle?
Sure. I mean, you can check out our website, just designpickle.com, or you can do /contact, or just email me. It's Kate, Kate, at designpickle.com.
Kate, thank you for your time today. And we'll have a replay as well. Folks will be sharing this, but for those that are listening, thank you for spending a half hour of your time with us today. We appreciate it. Just continue to do your best to stay safe and as healthy as you can be. And I'm just grateful for everyone that's in my network and our network. And as I always say, if there's anything that I or my team can do to help you in any way, whether it's a resource or just whatever it is, we'll try to figure out a way to help you. So, everyone have a great day, and we will be speaking with you soon. All right, take care.
Thank you. Bye.